Welcome back to Reddit Story Time. Today we have 4 incredible stories. Let's dive right in.
Story number 1. AITA for refusing to tell my family how much I paid for my house. Our first story comes from a 34-year-old woman who recently bought her first home with her husband. And look, buying a house is one of life's biggest milestones. You'd think your family would just be happy for you, right? Well, not this family. Ever since they moved in, multiple relatives have been relentlessly interrogating them about the finances. How much did they pay? What was the down payment? What's the monthly mortgage? At first she brushed it off, but they kept bringing it up at every single family gathering. So finally she told them straight, I'm not comfortable discussing our finances and I'd rather keep that private. Seems like a completely reasonable boundary, right? Well, the family lost it. They called her secretive. They said family shouldn't have secrets. One cousin actually said, and I quote, if you can afford a house, you shouldn't be embarrassed to answer a simple question. Now some relatives are acting like she's hiding something or like she thinks she's better than everyone else. Her husband is fully on her side, but her parents think she should have just answered the questions to avoid causing tension. Here's my take. Your financial information is yours. Period. Nobody is entitled to know what you paid for your house, what you earn, or what your mortgage is. The fact that they are pressing this hard and getting offended when she sets a boundary says way more about them than about her. NTA all day long.
Story number 2. AITA for telling my friends to put their seatbelt on. Story number 2. A 21-year-old who just got their first car. That's exciting, right? First car, freedom, independence. So they go to pick up their partner and 2 friends for day out. They tell the friends to buckle up. Simple, right? It's literally the law in most places. Well, one friend, Ethan, pretends not to hear. Our poster repeats the request. Ethan gives a dirty look, mutters Jesus under his breath, but puts the seatbelt on. Later, Ethan says he felt bad because his parents used to scream at him about seatbelts. Fair enough, trauma is real, and our poster apologizes for the reminder. But here's where it gets wild. They go out again a few days later. Ethan gets in the car and does not put his seatbelt on. Our poster says, hey, please put your seatbelt on, I care about your safety. And Ethan responds with, you're not my parent, you can't make me. The other friend, Alice, chimes in from the backseat saying they'll be fine back there and even compares it to Uber drivers who don't enforce seatbelts. So our poster, reasonably, I think, says, you're right, I can't make you, but I won't start the car until everyone has their seatbelt on. My car, my rules. Both friends get out. They cancel the plans entirely. Alice later texts, hope you're happy now. Are you kidding me? You're in someone else's car, a car they just bought, that they're driving you around in for free, and you can't be bothered to click a piece of metal into a slot that could literally save your life. NTA, not even close. It takes 2 seconds. Put the seatbelt on.
Story number 3. AITA for telling my sister to grow up about our dad's burial wishes. Story 3, and this one hits differently. These siblings lost their mom when they were kids middle school age. Their dad raised them alone until they were in college, when he started dating again and eventually remarried. For years, their dad had bought the burial plot next to their late mother, planning to be buried beside her when he passed. But recently, Dad had a health scare. And that scare made him rethink things. He's decided he wants to be cremated instead of being buried next to their mom. Now, our poster doesn't have a problem with this. It's his decision, his life, his body. But the sister, she's devastated. She got into a screaming argument with their dad at dinner about it. She's been giving him the silent treatment ever since. And she's been pressuring our poster to tell Dad he's making the wrong choice. So our poster finally said, grow up, it's his decision, accept it. And the sister exploded, called our poster a heartless insult, accused them of not defending their late mother's memory. To which our poster responded, it's been over 20 years and you need to get over it. Look, grief is complicated. The sister clearly hasn't fully processed their mother's death. And the idea of Dad not being buried next to Mom feels like he's erasing her memory, at least in the sister's mind. But here's the reality. This is the father's choice about his own remains. He's alive. He's made a decision, and trying to guilt trip him about it is not okay. Our poster was blunt, maybe harsh, but honest. NTA.
Story number 4. AITA for refusing to clean up after a destination wedding. Our final story. This one's about a groomsman at a destination wedding. And let me tell you, the entitlement here is off the charts. Our poster was asked to be a groomsman about 5 months before the wedding. He hosted the bachelor party, a 4-day event at a family lake house, covering the groom's food at his own expense. For the wedding itself, he and his wife spent over $3,000 on flights, rental car, outfits, lodging, gifts, and activities. They flew 5 hours and drove 3 more to get there. Now here's where it goes sideways. 2 days before the wedding, the groomsmen get a text saying they're expected to set up the reception venue at 10 in the morning on the wedding day. They ended up carrying 200-pound tables and 160 chairs. No lunch break, 1 hour to get ready for photos. And then, after the wedding, after they'd been drinking and celebrating, the expectation was that they'd tear it all down again that night. Our poster's wife is pregnant and exhausted. He'd been drinking. He's supposed to wake up at 4 a.m. for their flight. He tries to move a table, drops it, and the other groomsmen start yelling at him to just leave. One calls him a bad friend. He'd met these guys once. He's never going to see them again. Meanwhile, the bride's father owns 6+ houses. This is a $30,000 plus wedding at a country club. They couldn't hire a setup and tear-down crew. They expected their friends, who already spent thousands to be there, to do manual labor after a night of drinking. NTA. A wedding party should be honored guests, not unpaid labor. If you want people to set up and tear down your wedding, tell them upfront and let them decide if they still want the job.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed these stories, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more. See you next time.